Awesome books in the coin and banknote collecting space. There's 6 different books here. We'll have a quick look at each one of them and then we'll leaf through each one of them too, so you get a bit of an idea of what these books are all about. And we'll get straight into it. So the Renix Australian Coin and Banknote Values book. I've got a link to this one on my account. So click in the description on my link tree and you can get through to this book. We've got the Renix Australian Pre-Decimal and Decimal Coin Errors book. So I've got a link to that one as well. Now the other ones I don't have links to, but you can get through to them if you look up the titles of these ones here. So the Renix Australian Pre-Decimal and Pre-Decimal Coin Varieties. So that one. Then we've got for New Zealand people. So we've got the John Bertrand New Zealand Coin and Banknote Catalogue. This is the 2022, but there is a 2024 version of that. So that one's quite handy, especially if you're in New Zealand or if you've got some New Zealand coins and banknotes. Then we've got this one here for Euros, Catalogue Euro Coins and Banknotes. Again, this is 2022, but there'll be a 2024 version of that as well. That is a thick book there. We'll have a quick look at that as well at some stage. And the Notable Australians, Historical Figures Portrayed on Australian Banknotes. So there's that book there, which is quite handy for the Australian banknotes. But I'll start at the start and we'll have a quick look through each one of the books to get a bit of an idea of what is involved in the book. So Renix Australian Coin and Banknote Values. So in here, it's got tons of information, really useful information. So here is the grading, so the grading scale for coins, and you can see all the different definitions of the different gradings. And this is the Australian grading system, and this is the American grading system here. So you can have a bit of a look through and get a bit of an idea on the grading scales and how that all sort of works. Then the book starts with pre-decimal currency, like the really old currency in Australia that was used, Holy dollars and dumps. Awesome coins those, but quite rare. And then it goes through the pre-decimal currency, the values of the pre-decimal currency at the different condition gradings, which is very, very useful for those. And then it starts to get into the decimal currencies, so 1 and 2 cent coins, the current circulating coins, all the different coins that are there, but it also covers collector coins too, so the ones that weren't produced for circulation but were produced for collectors. So it's really handy if you come across a coin that you don't find in circulation to be able to sort of look it up in this book here. So for the circulating currency, it usually just has a value in uncirculated conditions. So if you're searching through coins and you find a coin and it will be usually in circulated condition with scrapes and scratches and things like that. So this book doesn't really have values for those sorts of conditions, and that's why I pretty much created my coin value lists. But it is handy, especially I find it really handy for the non-circulating coins, all these sorts of coins. Sometimes you come across them in circulation, just people put them into circulation, so that's really handy when you come across those. So and then it clicks into the banknotes. So we get into the banknotes. There's also the collector series of coins and things like that, the mint sets and stuff like that. I need to zip through a bit quicker. And then the banknotes, the early banknotes, pre-decimal, and then it gets into the decimal currency, which is the $1 notes, $2 notes, $5 notes, the paper ones. So these ones here. And then it gets into, at the back of the book, into some of the errors and things like that you can find in the banknotes too. So that very comprehensive book that lots of people use. I highly recommend that book if you're looking at getting any particular book. Now this one I find really useful, especially for the errors, and that's what the book's all about. But this sort of covers all the sorts of minting errors that can occur. So it has descriptions for the different minting errors. It doesn't have pictures of every single error that has been produced on all the different coins, and lots of the pictures are to do with pre-decimal currency because there was been lots of errors and things like that. But decimal currency as well. But it's just really handy to get a feel for what sorts of errors can occur on coins, so you can keep an eye out for them. It does also have some values of some things that have sold, some of these coins that have sold, and how much they've sold for at the different auction sites. You can see here some of the prices that they're sold for, and what the different coins were. But I find that this book is really useful. Here's the double-sided, the double heads coins, and the different years that they can occur. I've got a few pages marked just for some other research that I'd sort of done. But missed strikes, so you can see what they look like. What else have I got? I've got, oh yeah, this one here, the $1 coin that was struck on a 10-cent piece of metal. So that's quite a rare one. That's on my coin value lists. But yeah, and someone mentioned the other day in the chat that I think they found one of these coins here with a scalloped sort of outline. So that's really good book for all the errors. So if you're after information and just to learn about errors, to know what to sort of get a bit of an idea on what they're looking for, what they look like, then that book's really handy. So I've got both of those two books, links to those in the description of this on my link tree. So there's those two books. Let's have a look at the New Zealand John Bertrand New Zealand coin and banknote catalogue. So yeah, this does the pre-decimal currency all the way through to decimal currency as well. Just in black and white, which is fine. But yeah, all the different values and things like that in there, which is really handy. So I do get some questions from people in New Zealand, and yeah, and this is a book that I would sort of refer to. So it's quite handy for the circulating currency, although you don't use 5-cent coins anymore in New Zealand. But say, we'll go to the 10-cent coins over here. It has average circulated condition, sort of how much they would be worth in average circulated condition, and also uncirculated condition. So it does have a bit of an idea if it's, if the coin is, even if it's in circulated condition, how much you can expect that they would probably sell for as well. But then it goes into the paper notes as well, and also the banknotes that are probably currently circulating as well. So that's the John Bertrand coin and banknote catalogue. There's a 2024 version of that one. Then we've got this one here, Australian pre-decimal coin varieties. Now, fairly thick book for what it is, but what it is, it sort of goes over some of the differences between all the different pre-decimal currencies. So little die cracks and things that are a bit different about the coins, and where those errors have occurred, and all the different locations and what years and things like that. So it sort of does go through and sort of cover all that, so dot between the feet of the P and the E in penny. So it sort of goes through all the different varieties on pre-decimal currencies to have a look for. So if you've got tons of pre-decimal coins, pennies, half pennies and things like that, and you're sort of looking through them carefully, this book will be quite handy to try and spot some of those differences that are on those pre-decimal coins. So that one there, that's a Renix book as well. So the Renix website to probably pick that one up. Then the euros. So I do get questions from people in Europe as well about euros. Oh, do you know much about them? And I personally don't know too much, but having a book like this would be really helpful for you if you were looking at different coins. So this is, again, 2022, but there'll be a 2024 version, and so many pages, and it does have values and things down the bottom for the different coins and things like that, but a lot of them are commemorative coins. So I don't know if I haven't really looked at this too closely in detail, but whether it's got the currently circulating coins, I'm sure it would. But it sort of go through all the different designs there and the values at the bottom. I think it does cover some banknotes maybe at the back. Just getting there. Here we go. Euro banknotes. Yep, looks like it's got Euro banknotes covered as well. Smaller section, but there we go. So that's the Lectern Catalogue Euro coins and banknotes. So keep your eye out for that if you're interested in euros. And yeah, the last book here that I've got is the Notable Australians, Historical Figures Portrayed on Australian Banknotes. And this is put out by the Reserve Bank of Australia. So you'll probably be able to find this at some locations, but yeah, it just sort of covers the different banknotes that we've got in Australia and the different historical figures that appear on the banknotes and why they appear on the banknotes. Yeah, with some information about who they are and where they've come from and their life and things like that. So there's information, really interesting information in there about our current banknotes and the people that are portrayed on there. So I find that really helpful and useful just to understand, I suppose, our currency. One of my favourite banknotes, the $100 banknote, the Grey Ghosts. Oh, I like those. So it has the different characters, Mawson, and then Tubbett. There we go. So, this book here, yep, as I said, I find it quite useful, especially just to understand the history of our currency. But probably the book I use the most is this one, Renix Australian Coin and Banknote Values book, mainly personally for the paper banknotes, just to get an idea on the value of the different banknotes in the different conditions. So many different values depending on which year it is and also the condition of the note. And yeah, it does have a condition grading, so you can look at your banknote and you can read and work out exactly what condition it is, and then you can go through and you can work out, okay, this is the value, estimated value of my particular banknote. So I find it really useful for those. And the other one that I used a fair bit, especially early on, just to understand the errors that can occur, is this one here. So the error coins book, and with pictures of the different sorts of errors that can occur, some prices, descriptions, and things like that. So 2 books, and that's why I've got those 2 books in the description on my link tree as links through to the Renix website where you can pick them up. But yeah, there you go. So let me know any other publications that you use that you find really helpful in coin and banknote collecting. Let me know in the chat. If you're not following or subscribing to my account, please follow along. I'd love that. And I hope you all have a great day or weekend, and see you all again soon. Okay, see ya.